it's 10 o'clock. We're going to go ahead and get started. Jalen Hampton, 39th nationally in defensive rebounds per game, also second in the Sun Belt with 6.5 per game. We'll let Coach begin with an opening statement, then we'll open up the floor to questions.
Yeah, obviously we've lost 5 out of 6, all of them except one being incredibly close games that we've got to figure out how to get the team back on track and find ways to win. There's some clear things we've got to do, and we've got to get Chandler Jackson playing to the level he's capable of. Because if you take a look at one of the biggest drop-offs in our last 5 wins versus last 5 losses, it's his ability to take over the game. So we've got to get him going. And it's interesting. You look at last game, right? All you have to do is shoot 30% from three, and you win. So we've got to. We took some good shots, missed some good shots. I think our guys are playing hard. When you watch on the film, it's not really a lack of effort. There has to be some lack of pop. We've got to make some shots. Got to make some plays happen. But obviously, we're working on keeping our guys in the right frame of mind as we go down to Coastal, and we still have a good stretch left, and the league is close enough that we can go on a great run and be in a good position.
Coach, I know you said you're not really worried about these guys pressing, and you certainly don't want them to, but yet at the same time, how do you maybe stress a sense of urgency with the standings being what they are, with the bracket being what they are, what it is, and maybe kind of the need to try and make that push into the top four?
I mean, every day we have a sense of urgency. There's a difference between an urgency and pressing, right? So you have to have an urgent everyday approach if you want to be great. You can't wake up and decide to be great. It's a choice every day. And so our players are well aware that time is running out to go on a run. Um, but the same urgency, that the reality is, right, if you start conference play instead of 4-1 and you start 1-5, the urgency is the same. Every game matters, regardless of how early in conference or how late. So I mean, we're not getting them to press, but they are well aware of the urgency that needs to happen for us to be able to win games.
What are the challenges of having that MAC non-conference game mixed in the middle of a conference run like this?
It's interesting challenges, right? Because you have to totally take your focus away from the conference, which could possibly be a good thing, especially since it's a home game, obviously at this point of the year. So it's not like we have to travel. Um, but it definitely it provides some challenges that you are taken away from your prep to conference, but it's also a good opportunity that uh, you get another basketball game to just get in a rhythm. Conference game, non-conference game, it's all about the rhythm that you're in. We were in a great rhythm before the South Alabama game, and now we got to get back to it.
Coach, you brought up Chandler and how you want to get him back going. What have you seen from him that's kind of had him take a step back?
Um, his assertiveness and aggressiveness, and we've talked about it. We met on it, and that he's by nature he's unselfish. So he thinks he's being unselfish, but what he's actually being is selfish. And I told him that you're being selfish. I put a lot of curse words behind that when I told him. But he's being selfish in the way that he's playing. He's not being unselfish, and that he has an unbelievable the way that he plays the game is the right way. And when he's playing aggressive and assertive and breaking the paint, his decision making is good. He draws fouls, he gets to the rim, he finishes, he creates dump offs, he hits the cutter, and he kicks threes. We don't have a lot of guys that can really break the paint at will with that force that can create those shots for our team and for themselves. And so, he believes he's being unselfish. And I told him he's being super selfish. He's actually the most selfish guy on the team by trying to play unselfish.
From Kevin, what has Coastal done well during its recent run, winning 6 out of 7?
I think that their guard play has been really good. They're shooting the ball well within that run. And they got three guys that can kind of tee you up at any given night. They've got a little bit of a three-headed monster going on with their guard play, and they're defending pretty well.
You played in, a lot of close games, Saturday included. What have you learned about your team and those close game moments that you can try and fix and just get better at going forward?
Don't be in close games. Games are much easier when you're up by 8 and it's not close. Um, no, I mean it's the continued value. I mean it's always the same, right? Like there's this misbelief in college basketball. Games decided by 4 points or less on average, Hall of Fame coaches have a 50% win percentage. They're a coin flip. You can go through and you could look at uh, anywhere from Dan Hurley to Rick Pitino. Some of those guys have below 50% win percentage of games decided by 4 points or less. The trick is to not be in games decided by 4 points or less. Hall of Fame coaches are Hall of Fame coaches, excluding Bill Self. That guy's an anomaly. His win percentage of games decided by 4 points or less is 67%. Is to not be in that position. And so it's not as much about being in the close game down the stretch. It's about what you're doing to not be in the close game down the stretch, right? Because then you're leaving it up. Maybe the referees make a call, maybe they don't. Maybe a team hits a half court shot, maybe they don't. Maybe you play an unbelievable defensive possession and they make an incredible shot. Close games are won and lost in the 36 minutes prior to the last 4 minutes on the most part.
From Kevin, what makes Jalen Hampton so effective on the boards?
He just goes and gets it. He's like a dog with a bone. See that ball, get that ball. He's unbelievable of just his timing, his feel, his athleticism, his desire. Uh, and he goes and gets it. And he's not the tallest guy. He's a pretty good athlete, not the most athletic guy. Elite level rebounders are early effort, out of area, extension, one-handed catch of rebounders, and that's what he is. He's going to pursue it relentlessly.
Any more questions?
Guys are going easy on me, huh? Ah, all right.
All right. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Appreciate you,
Thanks,
Coach.
Coach.